If you're getting ready for a cruise and worry that you may forget something at home, well, you're not alone because it happens to the best of us. In this video, I'm going to share the worst things that people have forgotten to pack for a cruise so it doesn't happen to you. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, as organized as we all try to be when we're getting ready for a cruise, oftentimes when we are leaving the house, getting ready for a flight, it might be early in the morning or we're just right up to the last minute packing, and it just does happen. Sometimes we forget something, and sometimes it is pretty important to pack for a cruise. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the things that I have personally forgotten to pack for a cruise, including two things recently. One of them, which was actually pretty important, and right before the cruise, it took me several hours to rectify this situation. And I'm also going to share with you what other cruisers said that they had forgotten to pack for a cruise. Now, to make it a little bit more interesting, when I was on a recent cruise, I saw a game show. And as part of the game show, it was sort of a Family Feud style game show. They also talked about the 6 most common things that people forgot to pack for a cruise. So I'm going to share the answers with you at the end of the video, and I'd love to know if you guessed them. Now, before I get started, I wanted to mention two things. Firstly, you may just want to take some notes because seriously, there are some gems in this video. But secondly, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. So I have about 15 or so things. They are not necessarily in any particular order, but all of them will impact your cruise in some significant way if you do forget them. So the first thing is a fleece sweater or a light jacket. Now, a lot of people mention this because sometimes it just isn't something that we talk about or really think about, especially if we're going maybe on a warm weather or a Caribbean cruise. But it does actually get cool in the morning times, in the evening times sometimes. And we could find that we actually need that little something. Now, at least you can buy that on the cruise ship, so it's really not the end of the world, but you probably do want to bring this from home. Now, in the same vein, rain jackets. That is another thing that a lot of people tend to forget. And it can be something that we need for many different cruise itineraries. Number 2, underwear. Now, this actually came up a lot more than I thought. Yes, men and women both forgot underwear. It seemed like in a quest to pack light, to be careful not to overpack, a lot of people seem to have forgotten the underwear. So while there are some solutions, some people said that right before the cruise, they ended up finding that they could go to Walmart or somewhere close, but a lot of times people just didn't have that option and instead found themselves like washing a pair of underwear, wearing a bathing suit bottom, underwear, bathing suit bottom. So kind of got a little bit complicated on the cruise. So make sure that you do pack your underwear. Now, grouping these together, some other things that came up was also bras. So a lot of people said they kind of just forgot to bring any bras. And the other thing that came up was socks, especially dress socks. Number 3, pants. And I would say overall, we're going to talk about clothes right now, but the thing that came up the most was really men's pants. It seemed like a lot of men, they maybe ironed their pants before going on the cruise, and those pants got left on a hanger. Other people said formal clothing, cocktail dresses, that was also left at home. There were also some shorts, there were some dress shirts, and even some people who left some clothing in the dryer, and that stuff just didn't get packed for the cruise. Number 4, glasses, contacts, contact solution, and even sunglasses. So all of these things people did in variations said that they left these items at home, or in some cases, what happened to some people was they actually left these items in a taxi cab as they were getting to the airport or the cruise port, which obviously can end up being a really big problem. Now, I do have a little tip or solution for this. What you probably do want to do, especially if you need those glasses, if they are prescription glasses, is have an extra pair with you. What my husband does is he has his glasses that he wears regularly, but he keeps his old pair of glasses, and obviously they're not his favorite glasses, but he brings them with on every trip because if his glasses get broken or lost, at least he has another pair. Number 5, charging cables. Now, I don't think this one will probably surprise you. I think whether it's a cruise or other trips, people just tend to forget these items. And some people said what happened was they actually left their charging cable in their car rather than bringing it with them on the cruise, especially if they even just parked at the cruise port. But along with charger cables were also laptop wires and even batteries for cameras. Number 6, sunscreen, aloe vera, anything like that. And a lot of times people said that even if they brought sunscreen, they just didn't bring enough sunscreen. So that's definitely something. Maybe make sure to have even 2 bottles of sunscreen with you for your cruise. Number 7, medication. Now, medication, personally, I think it's one of the most important things that you do bring on your cruise. If you forget it, it really potentially is even life-threatening. Now, in my case, I actually did forget my medication at home, and I don't even know how I did this. I think I kind of misplaced it. So I ended up getting to Florida before my cruise, and thank goodness I did realize it before I got on my cruise. And honestly, the day before my cruise, what I did, because I'm from Canada, I wasn't able to just refill a prescription like at Costco, which is where my prescription is at home. So I had to actually go see a doctor, get them to prescribe me this medication, even though they weren't my doctor. At first, they didn't want to do this. Anyway, it was honestly so much more complicated than I thought it would be. But it is a lesson to maybe make sure that I have 1 bottle of medication that I just keep at home, and then the other bottle that I actually can pack in advance in my luggage. Now, by the way, this didn't only happen to me. There were many comments of people saying that they forgot to bring some of their medication. So sometimes it was diabetes medication, other times it was stomach medication, heart medication. There were a variety of things, over-the-counter medication, even seasickness medication. Now, by the way, if you do need seasickness medication and you forgot to bring it on your cruise, oftentimes you can still find some of these items in the convenience store on the cruise ship, or otherwise you can ask at guest services or even at the medical center. Now, by the way, something that I am doing to make sure that I obviously do not forget to pack anything anymore for a cruise after all of that, of course I have my cruise packing list, I have my toiletry list, so that anything I can do in advance that I do. But now what I am doing is I'm using sort of this blank list from my cruise planner, and I am using that blank packing list to list out the items that I want to make sure that I do pack the morning of the cruise, or the morning that I'm leaving from my home, flying out, driving, that kind of thing. Now, what I do is I do take my passport holder. I already have that filled with my passports. I consider that to be like the most important thing, my proof of vaccine, etc. All of that is here, and that goes right on top of my carry-on bag along with my list, and I make sure that I just check off everything as I go. Now, if you are interested in the Ultimate Cruise Planner, the Ultimate Cruise Planner is a 47-page downloadable printable cruise planner that you can print out the packing list, the embarkation day forms, anything that you need for your cruise. You can print out as many pages as you need for as many cruises as you do go on. Now, I will leave the information for the Ultimate Cruise Planner linked down in the description below this video in case you do want to check that out. Number 8, toothbrushes. So toothbrushes, if you do forget them at home, at least you can buy them on the cruise ship, but they will be significantly more expensive than if you had just bought them at Walmart or anywhere else. Toothpaste was another item, and something else that some people said they forgot was a razor, including some people saying that they left that in like the hotel that they stayed in the night before the cruise. So those are all things to make sure that you bring on your cruise. Number 9, a hairbrush. Now, this one actually happened to me. It was several years ago, and I had gone on a 5-day cruise, and really, I think I survived without a hairbrush. I think my friend, if I'm not mistaken, lent me a brush, but her hair texture was very different than mine, and in any case, it wasn't a great solution, but I just survived the week with like curl mousse and hair gel. In any case, that is my story. But let me know, please, if you've ever forgotten a hairbrush or any other item that you really did need for your cruise. Other people said that they forgot their hair straightener, and as much as it doesn't ruin a cruise, you certainly don't feel as good if your hair just isn't exactly the way you like it. Number 10, ladies, I know this can really be a very big problem. It is feminine hygiene products. Now, for some reason, sometimes we go on a cruise, we travel, and that time of the month just happens unexpectedly for some reason. So I think it should be on everybody's packing list that we just always bring these items whenever we travel, because for some reason, you never know. And people have been saying that these days it's actually harder to find these items on a cruise ship, or at least the items that you want. So definitely make sure to pack these items for your cruise. Number 11, a bathing suit. Now, I really was surprised at how many times this seems to happen for men and women, by the way, but it's definitely something, especially if you're going on a Caribbean cruise, but even for any cruise, there's always a pool, always a hot tub on every cruise ship. So make sure that you do pack your bathing suit. Now, a lot of other people said as well, something that they may have forgotten was like flip-flops or shoes for the pool. Makeup and cosmetics. And in this, I'm going to group as well hair conditioner, moisturizer, any of these different items. It seems that many of us have just forgotten these items for a cruise. Now, in my case, what I did forget, or actually I didn't bring on a cruise a couple of cruises ago, just because I just didn't think about it, but it was actually moisturizer. What I realized was, I guess it was the time of the year that we were traveling, I got so dry, and I don't mean facial moisturizer, that's always something good to have, but just moisturizer for my hands. I couldn't find anywhere on the cruise ship, and my hands were so dry, it was driving me crazy. So when I went on my last cruise, I actually brought 2 tubes. In any case, that is something to think about. Cosmetics, makeup, you can buy makeup on the cruise ship, but it is going to be very pricey. Next up, we have condoms. Now, I have to say, I am married. It's been a long time, so that isn't an issue for me, but I think for some people it is. So if it is for you, make sure you bring them on a cruise. Now, I have one more important item to share with you before I share with you these 6 different things that the Cruise Line Game Show said that cruise passengers most commonly forget to pack for a cruise. So this last one is a change of clothes. Now, of course, you do not have to bring a change of clothes in your carry-on bag on embarkation day. However, it can be something convenient. Now, in particular, what some people pointed out is they forgot to do so. They didn't do this. And what happened was they didn't actually get their luggage when they got off the flight. Their luggage was late. They had to wait until it got to another port, and they didn't really have any clothes for the first day of the cruise. So it kind of meant that they were sort of shopping for clothing on the cruise ship. So we don't want to do that. So make sure to pack at least 1 change of clothing for your cruise, especially nowadays. Okay, without any further ado, according to the cruise line, these are the 6 most common things that people forget to pack for a cruise. So please let me know below in the comments if this is what you would have guessed. Toothbrush, socks, sunscreen, chargers, sunglasses, and a camera. Now, I know some people mentioned that they forgot batteries for a camera, even batteries for a GoPro, but I didn't hear anybody saying that they actually forgot a camera. I'm sure that that does sometimes happen, but the other items are all on this list. Now, please let me know what you think. If these are items that you would have guessed, what you may have forgotten to pack for a cruise, and I am going to leave the information about the Ultimate Cruise Planner down below in the description of this video. Now, I'm going to leave a video right after this one all about the 50 different cruise essentials that you may want to pack for your cruise. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.